Hey guys, welcome back to Budget with the July Dreamer. My name is Miranda, and on this channel I share with you personal finance content as well as lifestyle content in the form of vlogs. Today's video I will be sharing, I want to call it an updated look at my Plum app. Specifically, I want to focus on looking at my Plum investment that I have, because I think the last time I did a proper video was back in, I wrote this down, let me find, back in June of 2023. I gave you an update of where my Plum investments were, how much I had, what I had invested in. And today's video I am going to give you an update of that, because looking through my investment videos I realized that when it comes to Plum I just give you like the final number. I don't often go into the detail of what are the holdings that I have, how am I investing with this, especially as when people find out that I am also investing SIP, ISA, and then general investment account like Plum, they're like, why are you focusing on that? And I try to explain, but sometimes it gets lost in translation. So today's video is going to be also specifically about that. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Hey guys, so my name is Miranda, and like I said, I share with you personal finance content as well as lifestyle content. I do have my mobile because we'll be doing a screen record of my Plum app, and then I have a piece of paper because I did write down a couple of notes, because you all know I lose track really easily, so I want to stay on track with what I want to cover in today's video. So like I said, we'll be looking at the Plum app, the investments that I hold in the Plum app, how I invest in that, the update from last year, where we were and where we are now. Let me preface this video by saying that I am not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I'm saying in this video as financial advice. I'm just sharing with you what I am doing. So with that disclaimer out of the way, let us begin. So first, a quick intro on the Plum app. I think the intro should go with the screen record, I think, because I think it will help us as I explain what the Plum app is. So let's see. Okay, screen record, Plum app. All right, let us log in. Okay, so the Plum app is an app that I have been using since August of 2020 to help me save and invest. So the first tab here, pockets, that is the savings tab of things, and as you can see on the screen, they do offer things like cash ISAs, lifetime ISAs, and then I'm utilizing their Plum interest. So this is a pot where you're saving money every single time, and they've given you like a fixed interest rate. So right now that is 4.04%. That's what the interest for this pot is. I can withdraw at any time, so if I was to do it now, they would give me the money by tomorrow or in 2 days time, which I don't mind, but I'm using this Plum interest pot to help me save for my upcoming vacation. So we've got about £100 and 8.94 pence. So this is the first part of the app. The second part of the app, if we go back to the home page, is the investments tab here, where it shows you my holdings that I have, how much I have, and I can go into more detail with that later, because that's today's the purpose of today's video. Then they've got pensions. As you can see, I have nothing, and they also offer a Plum card, which I don't think I need. I have 6 accounts. I don't need more, to be honest, so I've opted not to do that. Then they've got earn £20, so if I was to refer a friend, I have referred the Plum app to all my friends and family, and I want to say my best friends use, I think except one, use the Plum app to help them save, and one just recently started using it to invest as well. So I have gotten my referrals there, but I always have a link in the description bar of every video if you are interested. And then what I love about the Plum app, so the premise is I connect it to my bank account, right? And then it helps round up my spending. So if I spend £1.48, right, so the 2 pence to make it £1.50 is saved. So the 2 pence is saved every single time. Before, they used to do like these smaller amounts. Now they do an aggregate, and they've chosen a day. For me, it's every single Monday, so they aggregate my spending across the week, and then the following Monday they extract that money from my account to save. If they have projected that from my spending I would be able to save this amount, but then they go and fetch the money from my account and there's no money, it doesn't save anything. In the past, I want to say this wasn't a feature. I think it would just like go overdraft or something like that. I could be wrong. It's been years. I can't remember if that has ever happened to me before. But yeah, anyway. So that's the premise with the app. What I love the most is this thing here at the bottom below the earn £20 called the brain. So the brain is the rules that you set up to help you with the saving. As you can see, for me, since August of 2020, I have saved. All deposits I've made is 13,661 and 14 pence. I don't have this money now because I have been, but if I'd left it alone, should I say 5 years later, we would be at that amount, which is absolutely crazy to think about, but it's also great. And this is change. This is not like whole amounts, like I said, £100 every single month. No, but it's part of the rules, right? So I have the following rules turned on. So the automatic one, so this is just them being able to take the money automatically from my account. Then the roundups, like I said, it's looking at an aggregate of my spending every single week and putting that. And then I also switched on the 52-week challenge. So depending on whenever you start, it starts counting from that point onwards. So according to this, at the moment we're at week 14. Save in overdraft. Again, if you want to set that rule up, there are more rules depending on the version of the app you have. I can't remember exactly, but I have the paid version, the Pro. So a lot of the rules are on for me and I can use that. But I know that the 1p challenge I can't use because I do not have Ultra. Like I said, I have Pro. So they use free version, Pro, and then Ultra, if I'm not wrong. And then there's the not rule, which put money aside when you shop somewhere you'd rather not. But for me, I don't know if this rule, the final rule here, would work purely because I do all my spending on my Monzo account. I don't do it in the main account that I have attached the Plum app to. But anyway, these are just some of the rules. I've got some that are recurring. And if I had the premium version, I could have other stocks as well. But these are the rules and it's called the brain. You set it up yourself on how you want it to be. And I've set up mine to break down exactly how I want it to break down. So a portion goes towards my saving and the rest goes to my investments. So that is the premise of it. So like I said, this is the front page. In the top left corner, you can see that I have a Pro version of the app. The Plum value is actually a total amount of the money in the pockets and then the money in the investments as well. So that is the total amount. That's what they call the Plum value. Then at the bottom here, you have the pockets, and we've gone into the pocket. The next one is the investments, which I've shown you quickly, and I'll be coming back to in a moment to explain in more detail about the Plum portfolio that I have. Then there is the spend tracker. Like I said, I've connected this to my bank account. It tracks my spending, how much is going to my bills, how much is going to my financial services, bills that I have coming up in the month that I'm due to pay, and all of that good jazz. And then there is the assist. I'm yet to use the assist because, every single company is now implementing AI assist, and I don't know, maybe I'll spend some time and play around with it, but I haven't yet. So now that I've explained what it is, how it works, now let's go to my portfolio. So as you can see, at the time of filming this video, my balance is 2,394 and 17 pence. Back in June of 2023, when I shared an update with you guys, my Plum balance was £1,085 and 79 pence, and at that time I only held 3 funds. So let's look at where I am right now. So my holdings in total, I have both funds and stocks. So let's look at the funds first. So in terms of the funds, I have Core Europe, which is currently over £800, and again, this is all from my change. That's what it is. Like, it aggregates my spending, and then the change is what I invest. And let me go into Core Europe so you can see what I mean by this. So this is what the overview of the investment looks like. This is a Vanguard FTSE Developed Europe ex-UK Equity Index Fund. I don't have this in my actual Vanguard account, so I didn't mind adding it here. And it shows you what's investing in, and you got your key investor information, which is always important. But in terms of activity, look what I'm investing. I'm investing as low as £9, depending on how much the roundup for that week was. I'm investing £2, 55, £1.83, like different little amounts that help me buy small fractional shares from Vanguard and yeah, Bob's your uncle. But this is exactly how it's working. So right now the value for Core Europe is 434 and 45 pence. Now Core Europe used to be called European, what was it? It was European Essentials, if I'm not wrong. It used to be called European Essentials, and at that time I had £321.98, and I had 0.9318 units. Right now the current value that I hold is 832 and 71 pence, and I own 1.9167 in terms of units. So yay me. And again, all from change. The second fund that I have is the UK Safe Haven. I don't think I had this fund. Yeah, I didn't have this fund because I only started investing in this one July 2023, so after I had shared the video with you guys. So yeah, I have current value is 601 and 9 pence. I've got over 518 units, and yeah, and this is a Royal London short-term market money market fund accumulation. And what is in this one is got 27% bonds and 78.3% cash. But yeah, anyway, that's what I have. And then in terms of activities, the spending, it's based on the breakdown of my brain, not my brain, but the app's brain. So how I have allocated it. So that was UK Safe Haven. The next one is Global Tech. Global Tech used to be called Tech Giants. Back in 2023, I don't know when the names changed, if I'm honest, or if there was an announcement about that. But Tech Giants, I had 437 and 47 pence, and I had 373 units. Right now, I have 459 and 58 pence. I sold some of this. I know that for a fact. Like I've sold with this. So let me see in the last. No, in the last 5 years, but I have sold some of this investment before. So yeah, anyway, but it's held by Legal and General Global Technology Index Trust One Class Accumulation, and this is what it invests in. And again, I did my own research, okay, when I was choosing this. But yeah, so that's the other fund. And the next fund, do I have another fund? Yeah, the next fund is Core US. I sold this. This used to be a lot back in the day. This used to be called American Dream, and my American Dream, when I filmed the last video, it was 326 and 4 pence. But as you can see, there's only £77 and 77 pence at the moment because I sold the majority of it, if not all of it, for this investment. Is a Vanguard US Equity Index Fund A accumulation. I have the Vanguard UK Equity Index Fund, but I didn't have the US version. But yeah, so that's where we were. And yeah, so I used to have 3 funds way back when. I now have 4 funds, and I now have stocks as well. I didn't used to have stocks, but now I have stocks. So let's look at the stocks that I have. So I have Apple. I have 1.12 units of Apple. I have Novartis AG, which is a pharmaceutical company. I have Tesla. This is a new addition. Then I have GSK, which is another pharmaceutical company. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, another pharmaceutical company. Then BP Fuel, and then Baxter International. This is another pharmaceutical company. So I'm sure you've noticed a theme here. The majority of them are pharmaceutical companies because I work in the pharmaceutical industry and I believe in what the companies are doing and their projections. So I invest in them. These are some of the top giants in the pharmaceutical world. So I was like, okay, I'll invest in these. So yeah, but I didn't have any of these stocks way back when, but I now do, which is absolutely incredible. So that is overall my Plum investment portfolio. I can't believe we're at 2,394 and 17 pence. I always give you guys an update when I share my net worth. Like I give you the overall number, like I said, but I don't often go into detail to look at exactly what I'm investing in and all of that good jazz. And here on the bottom, you can see my watch list. I have AstraZeneca, which is another pharmaceutical company, and then British American Tobacco PLC. I want to invest into this one, but I just haven't had time to do my own full research. So I haven't really done much, but yeah, it's really interesting. I love this app. For me, I find it so easy to use, especially on the savings side. So I have the primary pocket. This is the primary pocket, and the combo that they prepare every single week for me, I receive it on a Monday. So this is the combo. So the amount that they took from my bank account this gone Monday was £88 and 57 pence. That's what I took out, and they showed me exactly where that is made up of. So the first part is roundups based on the brain that I've set up. So the roundup equals 62 pence, and we can look at the transactions that make up the roundup. So it's my two personal loans. With those two personal loans, because of how much I spent. So for Zopa personal loan, I spent 564 and 85 pence. So it rounded up to 565. So 15 pence is put on the side. Creation loan, I spent 601 and 53 pence. So to make it to 602, it saved for me 47 pence, which I love for me as well. So it shows me exactly which transactions are included in the roundup. Then the 52-week savings challenge this week was week 14, so it saved £14. And then there's the automatic saving, which is £73 and 95 pence. And then here is where it went. As you can see, there's an edit button here. This is the brain. So I choose how much goes to everything. So for example, the primary port, I'm sending 45% of whatever they save. 10% is going to core Europe, 10% to core US, 10% to global tech, 10% towards Plum interest, and 10% towards UK safe haven fund. So this is how I have done my brain, the splitter as it's called as well. Here, if you want, you can split evenly with everything, or just pockets only, investments only, or card only, but I don't have the card. So, but anyway, that is the splitter, and it tells me that £88 and 57 pence here is where it went. It's gone. £39 and 86 pence is staying in the primary port. £8 86 was sent to Global Tech Fund. £13 29 was sent to UK Safe Haven Fund. £8 86 to core Europe, and then £8.84 to core US. £8.86 has been sent to Plum Interest Fund, and this is what it looks like. In the primary report, it shows you this is the amount that has come through, 39.86, and whenever my dividends are paid from the stocks that I invest in, it gets paid into that pot as well. And it also shows all of the activity, like I bought some Regeneron as well, and this is outside of what I've already set up. So it tracks everything for me, and I love coming in here and seeing what is happening. I don't spend a lot of time here because the app is set up pretty well that I don't have to think about it. And then the activity tells me what my current balance is, if I withdraw, how long it will take. And they also have statements which have been very helpful, especially when I have to submit interest that I've earned in all of my accounts for taxes. So it has been helpful for me. And then, like I said, I have the Plum interest pot here. So this is why you see in the Plum app, Plum interest pot is only £108, but the total there it's telling you £148.99. This is because it's counting the Plum interest and the primary pot together. I have £148.99. So normally what I try to do is send as much as I can to the Plum interest pot so that they can earn a bit more interest, but I also use what's in the primary pot and send that towards my investments depending on what I want to invest in. But in a nutshell, this is the Plum app. At the bottom there, it shows the accounts that you've linked to, and I've only linked to my main bank account. Above that, we've got the activity, so it's all the transactions. So that is the deposits that has come in, the dividends that have been paid, and any manual investments that I may have done. So this manual investment could be from the primary report or could be from my bank, depending on what I have decided to do. Then we've got the brain, which is all the rules that you set up that you want to be implemented. I remember when I started, used to have this rule, rainy day. So if it rains today, it will save some money for me. And I love that rule. But yo, it was it was crazy because I live in the UK. It rains every day. So if you're trying to save aggressively, that would be a very good rule to put. But me, I was just trying to save the change. Literally, like my Plum app is not me actively doing any investing. My Plum app is me saving my change. That's what it is. Like literally me saving my change is what my Plum app is. So I'm not actively avoiding sending money towards the tax efficient vehicles we have in the UK. So the ISA and the SIP. No. This is my everyday spending from my main bank account being saved and then being allocated as I have set the rules. So I guess that in a way answers the question, why am I using general investment accounts when I could just set up everything in tax efficient vehicles like a LISA, a SIP, or an ISA. I have all of those and I actively save in those. I have a LISA because I already bought my home a long time ago before I opened a LISA. I'm not going to use that to buy my first property because that's what the LISA is for. Or if you don't want to use it for that, you can use it for retirement. So for me, when I retire, it's another pot that I can tap into in the future. And then the ISA, I invest in the ISA as frequently as I need to. And then what else? The SIP, I invest in that £200 every single month. I send money towards the SIP. That's a self-invested personal pension. Yeah, that's what that is. And yeah, that is it. I think that's the video. Oh, I got paid from my business. I love the sound. I love the sound that Monzo makes when you get paid. Yeah. Anyway, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video real soon.